Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me here on TLP Live. The Cleveland Browns head coach, Stefanski, clears some things up. Does he? I don't know. Coach Prime calls out the media for Shador's drive slide dance. Now the media is turning around and accusing him of complaining. Classic media maneuver. My two guys, Adam Mustard Tiger and Brian Howell, they gave a little bit of analysis on the Browns and the Buff season coming up. We're going to talk about all of that, but before we do, please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. All right, so thank you so much for joining me here on TLP Live. I go by the name of Harry B, and the B means billion. So let's go ahead and get the show started. If you are watching live, I salute you for watching live. You'll probably be like at work and you're like, hey, Harry B, I'm a little bored, or you're driving, you're doing something, working out. It's the morning drive. I am now coming to your airwaves in your ear, on your screen and your ears via the YouTube algorithm. So thank you so much for clicking, for those of you who can click. And if you are watching post live, that means the rebroadcast, I salute you as well. Please join the conversation by typing in the comments. Say, yo, Harry B, what up? What up with you, my Liberian brother? How you doing? And if you are here live, please join the chat and let's talk about these things I'm about to talk about. I got a slate of things that I want to talk about. Adam Mustard Tiger and Brian Howell are discussing, they say a little bit about Shador, but then they also go into the season for the Colorado Buffaloes. Y'all remember those college guys? Y'all remember the Colorado Buffaloes? It's like yesteryears. I did warn you that this was happening. Once those Louis boys left, it was going to be like a desert over there in Colorado, Boulder. But yeah, so we got a little bit of an analysis from Adam Mustard Tiger and Brian Howell I'm going to talk about today, if I get to it. Because, you know, some of these things, these media things, they kind of dominate the conversation, but I hope to get to it. All right. Stefanski does have some things to say. I'm definitely going to get to that. But before we do, let's go ahead and start the conversation with, once again, the media is moving the goalpost. If you complain about them, they're going to complain about you. They do have the power of the pen. So open fire. Get it? Open fire. Eric Jackson. Hey, man, Eric, if you got some time, man, you want to come on here, I can make a little bit of room for us to for you to give us an update on what's going on. So let me know if you got some room, if you got some time to come on here. If not, we can do a special show on that. Let's go. If you're watching in the post, you might want to scroll just a little bit. You might be able to see it. But here we go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, sunshine. Let's go. Let's get this show started. Oh, I'm doing this the wrong way. Give me a second. So before I start off the show, I want to let you know that this is a call-in show. You can call in by emailing me, jointlplive@gmail.com. That email again is jointlplive@gmail.com. If you want to join the show, you don't want to stay in the chat, or you want to come on here and you want to express your opinions and whatnot, you do have that freedom. I only ask you one thing: to please make sure you keep it kosher, you keep it family friendly. All right, no foul language, no cussing. That's just what I do around here. Okay, so salute to you. Call in when you can, and let's get this show started. All right, so give me a second. I'm going to take this thing off the screen. jointlplive@gmail.com. That's the email you're going to use to call in to the show. All right, let's go. All right. Here it goes. Okay. Whenever I play my intro, it always StreamYard doesn't know how to handle it after I play my intro, but here it goes right here. Okay, so let's start with this right here.
It's the beginning of June, and Deion is already complaining about his son and what went down at the draft. This, my friends, is why Shedeur Sanders fell in the draft. Front offices were just like, no thank you on Shedeur Sanders precisely because of this. Hey, Deion, Shedeur's now 23 years old. I'm not telling a grown man what to do, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, Deion. Next time you were asked about it, hey, man, I wish my son the best. I will be rooting for him hard. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. Go Browns. Just stop. All you're doing is hurting Shedeur.
So that's from the herd, right?
It's the beginning of June, and Deion is.
So let's dig into that a little bit. It's the beginning of June. You know what? Let's play it one more time. I like this guy's voice. It's soothing to my ears. Let's play him one more time.
Already complaining about his son and what went down at the draft. This, my friends, is why Shedeur Sanders fell in the draft. Front offices were just like, no thank you on Shedeur Sanders precisely because of this. Hey, Deion, Shedeur's now 23 years old. I'm not telling a grown man what to do, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, Deion. Next time you were asked about it, hey, man, I wish my son the best. I will be rooting for him hard. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. Go Browns. Just stop. All you're doing is hurting Shedeur.
My guy Eric Jackson is in the chat. The $100 million lawsuit guy. I'm sorry, I keep calling you that. But that's how people are going to recognize what I'm talking about. So when he hears this is precisely why they did not want Shedeur, I'm sure he's salivating. I'm sure every time Eric hears something like this, it's like, yes, please go ahead, make my case. Okay, so let's talk about this. So yeah, when you say this is precisely why all of the 32 teams, specifically the 5 that needed quarterbacks, but all 32 teams could have chosen him and they passed on him, and you're saying this is precisely the reason why he wasn't chosen, we got to talk about that, because Shedeur Sanders is Shedeur Sanders who put up his own work. He did whatever he had to do. His dad is a former NFL player who has friends in the NFL. So you would think, and then being one of the best players in the game, you would think he would get more respect than somebody who talks on the game telling him to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're telling me, you're saying, I ain't telling a grown man what to do, but you literally are telling a grown man to shut up, to be quiet, stop talking about your son. He's 23. He can talk for himself. But he knows the crap that you guys are full of. He knows that you guys are full of crap. You're in the media and your words carry weight, because this is a copycat environment that we are in. If one person says no, the other is going to say no, and it's based on the media influence. So don't come on here and tell the man to be quiet. And you're saying he's complaining. So let's talk about that. He said, you know what? I didn't plan on playing the clip, but I got the clip. Let's play the clip from ESPN. We're going to play the clip because we should play the clip. This is the type of show that we are. We do what we does, and that's how it goes. So we're going to go ahead and play the clip. And let's see. That's if I can find it. Is this it? I just gained 6,000 followers my first day joining. Okay, be quiet. My first post got. All right, so we're gonna find a clip, and I'm gonna play this clip because I feel like the thing about the media is this is one thing you have to understand. The media has a lot of power. All right, ESPN. If you have anything over 100, if you got like 100,000 followers, you got a lot of power. Even if you don't have that many followers, if you don't have that many subs, or if you don't have that big of a platform, you still got a lot of power. Like my little channel with 17,000 subs got a lot of power. So you can make it more powerful by hitting that subscribe button, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, help a brother out, man. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet. You know, let me go ahead and pause this real quick. All right, so I'm gonna cue this up. I didn't plan on showing it, but I'm gonna cue it up because I feel like it's important. Like we need to understand. Let me show you what he said, and then you tell me if that's complaining or not. Wild Dog, what up with you? Unspoken Sports Podcast, what up with you? Eric Jackson, you in there. QB1 Shador Sanders, what up with you? Hope all is well, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, sunshine. All right, so let's play this.
There and say something like he went in a meeting unprepared. Like, dude, Shador Sanders, who's had 6 different coordinators, who has still functioned and leveled up every time we brought somebody new in, and you're gonna tell me
every situation.
You're gonna tell me he had on headphones. Shador, anybody know my son, understand he's a professional. Like, he's gonna go into a meeting with headphones on. Like, y'all come on, man.
All right, the rest of that is ESPN. So I'm not trying to play the ESPN. You guys know I'm on the strike thing. I got to be very careful how I handle a lot of these things. Okay, so you hear what Coach Prime said. So right there is telling you, he's saying, you guys are spreading this message. The media. He went specifically for the media. So I feel like it's disingenuous. And again, I'm part of the media. I understand how this stuff works. When you say Deion Sanders is complaining, see that there again, like you're starting problems. You're part of the problem. Like, stop doing that. Because when you say he's complaining, it's as if he said anything about Stefanski, he said anything about the Cleveland Browns organization, any of the NFL teams. He's a father. Let's first understand that. Deion Sanders is a father. He's been in the NFL playing as a player, covering it, speaking, and trying to give the players, from a player's perspective, try to give them a voice because he played the game and he heard people cover him. And he realized how the media is kind of biased. So he was like, let me put on the suit, take off my cliques, put on the suit, and then start covering the guys that I know and speak on them the way I believe, that they should be spoken on. So he's done it from every angle. So he knows how this stuff works. He has the right to say, why did the media, like Coach Prime hadn't said anything up to this point. He didn't say much. He would send out his tweets and would say, God bless him. He would say stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to hold his tongue. But he goes on that podcast and he says what he said. That is not complaining, people. That's not what you consider complaining. He was asked a question on a podcast and he said, come on. Like, you're saying my son, you're spreading those lies and saying my son wasn't prepared. He had on headphones. He wasn't engaged. He was like snobby and he wasn't doing this. Like, you're telling me from a father's standpoint, he's not allowed to speak on his son. I find that to be so disingenuous because the same person that was on that Colin Cowherd show, if you are a dad, you're going to say something, right? You're saying that's complaining. How you say that's complaining? How is it that that's complaining? because he's calling out the media and saying, hey, man, that was foul. Complaining would be something like saying, why is my son not getting reps? Why are they showing footage of other people 11 on 11, but they're not showing any footage of my son? Coach Prime interfering with through the media, he starts to interfere with what Coach Stefanski, that name is going to get real tired real soon with my Liberian accent. I got to keep triggering my brain. Stefanski, if he was interfering through the media, sending shots at Stefanski, like LeVar Ball would do, like saying the coach doesn't know what he's doing and all of those things, that would be complaining. But the fact that a father took the time to say, come on, man, you already know how my son is. He's just reminding y'all, like, how can you spread that kind of message? You're telling me from a man's standpoint, from a real man, you're not allowed to talk at all. You're not allowed to interject your voice, and it's your son. You can't say anything about the foul stuff that went on and the way that they treated your son. Are you serious? Like, you can't say anything at all? So the NFL, the last time I remember, you're saying like your son is 23 years old. Okay, so let's talk about that. He's 23 years old, so which means that this is a professional company. You cannot not hire his son because of his dad saying, my son is going to go first round. And you're saying that is precisely the reason. So this is a professional company. This is corporate America. If this is corporate America, then the way that we handle corporate America is that you cannot not hire his son because his dad is outspoken. That's why Eric Jackson is filing this lawsuit. The son, who is 23 years old, can stand on his own. You got to judge his son. If you say it's a meritocracy, you got to judge his son based on his merits. You got to judge his sons, right? You got to judge them based on their performance on the field. So you're saying this is precisely the reason why nobody wanted Shador? So that means that you were not judging Shador based on his merits when you were judging everybody else, Dylan Gabriel, Jackson, all of these other quarterbacks, you were judging them based on their merits. So you're saying that parents are not allowed to speak or say anything in this process. That's not how this works. That ain't how this works. Halliburton's dad is on the court. Halliburton's dad he can say stuff, but you don't not hire his son because of that. So if that is precisely the reason, Coach Prime is calling your bluff. Coach Prime is actually, he knows this media stuff better than most. So you know what he's saying? He's saying, show the tape. I'm calling your bluff. If you think I'm not aware of what went on, if you think I didn't have a conversation with my son and he didn't give me all the tea, show the tape. Show what you got. Show the tape. Coach Prime is trying to call them out. Show me the tape. Show the tape. Make it public. Because remember now, the person, one of the recruiting specialists from the Giants got fired right after that, right? So he's saying, show me the tape. He's forcing their hands. If you got that information, you went and put it through our anonymous people, right? Everybody. Let me show you the panel. I can't play the video. I wish I could play it. Everybody on this panel, they all said that none of them got anybody on the record saying any of that stuff. If it's not on the record, somebody was spreading some gossip. And if it's gossip, then guess what? You can be held liable for that. Because now we're going to force you to show the tape. Eric, man, I hope your lawsuit goes through. Now you're going to have to prove it. And if you don't have the proof, and if these organizations, if they force your hand to show the proof and you don't have the proof, you're in trouble. So Coach Prime is rightly speaking. I'm hard on Coach Prime. Pause. Like I told y'all, I want to be objective here. If I felt like Coach Prime, because I've been saying, Coach Prime, I'm so glad that Coach Prime is staying out of it. I'm so glad that Coach Prime has not come against the teams. He ain't said nothing personally to anybody. He's just calling out the media. He's saying, hey, if this person that got you, that gave you the quote anonymously, if they're a man, if they're not a coward, let them put out the tape. Because you said something that hurt my son's draft status. So he's saying what we said. He's saying, how is it possible? We know this kid is being called grown. He's very professional. He's the most media ready. He's the most talented quarterback in the draft. He's the most media ready. He's the most polished. I gave you all of the reasons why I felt and I thought that Shedeur Sanders was the most well-rounded franchise tag day number one quarterback coming out of the draft. So, and then they told us something else. They told us a different story. So I said, okay, so now Coach Prime is like, all right, show me the tape. Show me where it shows up at. So Coach Prime is calling out the media. And the media is now turning around saying you're complaining. He has the right to call out the media. He's not complaining against any team and what their process is. He ain't saying, oh, just give Shedeur some snaps. That's not complaining. He's telling you, he's saying, yo, man, y'all did my son dirty. If any father out there is afraid to speak to power, then you're a coward. It's a corporate company. They are a corporate employee. So you can't just say, oh, no, your father can't say, why didn't choose my son? No. You're an organization. But for you to say, for all 32 of y'all to say, oh, we don't want him because we fear his father, then you have to answer to somebody. This is employment. This is employment. You are not allowed to discriminate somebody based on X, Y, and Z. These are hiring things that we're talking about. This is legal stuff we're talking about. You are not allowed to discriminate against Shedeur because of his father. Like this is law. You cannot discriminate against a person for color, their father, their height, disability, all of these things. All 32 employers said, oh, we don't want to hire you. This is precisely the reason why we don't want to hire you, because we fear your dad's mouth. That's called discrimination. And you are not allowed to discriminate against somebody seeking a job. You have to give them a reason why you're not hiring them. It can't be, you tell him it's not performance, it's against, you're discriminating against a young man because you fear his father may say something to y'all. That's not complaining. And like I told y'all, I'm objective, so I can say that if Coach Prime, I feel like he did something wrong, I would say it. But in this instance, I applaud Coach Prime for staying out of the Cleveland Browns situation. I applaud him for holding his tongue and not saying anything about their organization. I applaud him for that. He's a father. He's a man. So he wants to, if he has some things to get off his chest. I'm sure that's not all he wants to get off. It's going to be in the documentaries. He knows how to monetize his information. So trust me, you're going to be watching the documentary where Coach Prime is telling you how he really feels. Right now he's holding his tongue. And he just told you how he felt. He felt like he was hurt. So if he's telling you, you're telling me that my son wasn't prepared He's had 6 different coordinators. My son has had 6 different coordinators, and you're telling me that he's not ready. When you say stuff like that, that doesn't tell me that somebody's complaining. That means he's expressing himself about how he felt with everything that transpired. And you're saying it's in June. He should have been said this. He could have said this day one, but he stayed out of it. He was like, look, man, let me go recruit. Let me go do my job at Colorado. So here he is doing his job. He goes on a podcast. He got some things to say. He says that. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Yes, I want Coach Prime to just stay out of it. I want Coach Prime to let Shedeur do his thing. Because sometimes, yes, you can hurt the person that you think you're trying to help. But Coach Prime ain't said a thing about the Browns. He ain't said a thing about the Browns. He's calling y'all out. He's calling the media out. So if he's calling y'all out for foul play, then tell me how he was complaining. The media is it's a dangerous place. The media is very dangerous. They know they have the power. Not everybody uses their media power responsibly. Because now you'll say, oh, it's June 20th, it's June 1st, and it's June 3rd, and here is Coach Prime already complaining. He's hurting Shedeur. And if you feel like Coach Prime is hurting Shedeur with what he said, then that organization is weak. It's weak because fathers, parents, everyone have a right to express their grievance about their child without throwing the organization under the bus. He said nothing about the Browns. So essentially what you're saying is that Coach Prime don't say anything at all. Nah, that's not how this works, my guy. That's not how this works. Because you're a coward, it doesn't mean that everybody should be a coward. If these NFL organizations are cowards, and this is how they move, and their employers, they discriminate based on outside extremities, then somebody needs to hold them accountable, and they're cowards. I would hope my dad would say something if somebody discriminated against me. I would hope he would express how he feels without throwing the same company that I'm trying to work for, throwing them under the bus. Then me and him will have a conversation. But he didn't say anything that I felt like it would have hurt Shedeur. I've been applauding Coach Prime. I said, Coach Prime, you good. And if Coach Prime steps and he says something that, like some of the stuff that he said that came back, like my son is going first round. Those are some of the things that I wish he didn't say. Because that's not his character. He just got caught off guard. And we all get caught off guard. But I know Coach Prime. We are all given grace. We all have grace. He has emotions just like you. So I just want to be able to be objective to say, Coach Prime, just stay out of that stuff. Some people don't want me to say anything like that. Like it's all got to be praise or we're leaving your channel. And I've gotten rid of a lot of those people because I want to have a really good show where I don't feel like I'm beholden to somebody. I'm worshiping somebody, so I got to praise them. You know, the only person that I worship is God, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. So if somebody steps out and they say something and I feel like maybe you shouldn't have said that, I want to have the right to be able to say that. It's just right. In this case, Coach Prime didn't do anything wrong. He didn't say anything wrong. He ain't hurting Shedeur by being his father and stepping up and trying to hold him upright, saying, hey, man, y'all did my son dirty. It hurt my feelings that they did that to him. Because everybody on that panel, nobody has Shedeur going anywhere under the third round. Anywhere falling below the third round. And it keeps coming out. Everybody saying the same thing over and over again. And we're getting tired of this conversation, but it's just the same thing. When new information comes out, when new stuff comes out, we got to keep reminding them, nobody in the NFL organization, nobody who is associated, nobody who has the job of accumulating the records and going to teams and, you know, saying, hey man, my name is X, Y, and Z. I'm with ESPN or I'm with Fox Sports. Where do you have Shador? What's the thinking? Everybody has said, nobody said anything about Shador falling below third. That third was the worst case scenario. Third round. Worst case scenario. So if that's the case, then what was so bad that made him fall that far? Somebody has to talk about that. Somebody has to be responsible for that. Because you are an employee. And it seems like you discriminated. It feels, it seems like discrimination. You are not, as an employer, you are not allowed to discriminate against an employee, a potential employee, for outside things that are not associated with him or that are not his fault. It's called discrimination. And if you discriminate like that, you are held accountable in this country. There are employment laws. What's up, y'all? What y'all say in here in the comment, in the chat? Beautiful said, it hurt me to hear that Deion said that he was hurt because I know the pain of a parent for their child. Yeah, man. I mean, he's a parent. Like, people got to understand that. For you to see him fall and nobody had him falling that low, like the worst case scenario was third round. For you to see him fall to the fifth was that would hurt a parent. And he has the right to express that. Like, let's come on, man, give it up. Like, come on now. Enough is enough. The guy has a right to express himself. But he says anything, and it's like, y'all go on your big platforms, the herd, and Deion Sanders is complaining. It's Joan and Deion Sanders is complaining. I don't know where the complaining was. What did he say? What did he say that was complaining? What did he complain about?
It's the beginning of June, and Deion is already complaining about his son and what went down at the draft. This, my friends,
it's the beginning of June, and Deion Sanders is already complaining about what went on in the draft. Bruh, the draft has been a while. So Deion Sanders is already complaining it's June. Nah, you should say something like this. Deion expressed himself about what went on. Deion Sanders finally speaks out about how he felt about what went on in the draft. He said he was hurt. And he said that, how can you say my son wasn't prepared? How can you say stuff like he doesn't know plays when he's had to come up and deal with 6 different coordinators? You're saying it's the beginning of June and Deion Sanders is already complaining. I mean, you sound like, I'm looking at this cat and I'm like, bruh, you're either a coward or you don't understand how this stuff works. Like, see, it's like, okay, let me tell you what this feels and sounds like. You know what it feels and sounds like? It feels and sounds like rehearsed stuff. It feels and sounds like they could not wait to say this. You know how, like, you've been practicing in the mirror when you want to say something, but he didn't say exactly what you were expecting, so you just went with it. That's what this feels like. It feels like the media is ready for Coach Prime to come out and say something, But he didn't say, he didn't give them the thing that they wanted him to say, and they just went with it. They was like, all right. Because when you say it's the beginning of June and Deion Sanders is already complaining, and it's like, wait a minute. Okay, what did he complain about? Let me find the footage. Let me go to some type of media outlet. Oh, no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that footage. It wasn't that, was it? No, it wasn't that. It was not that. Let's play it for y'all. For those of y'all who just got here. It wasn't this. It couldn't have been this. This ain't what you're calling complaining, right?
And say something like
that caused him to fall to the fifth
in a meeting unprepared. Like when you sit up there and say something like he went in a meeting unprepared, like, dude, Shedeur Sanders, who's had 6 different coordinators, who has still functioned and went up, leveled up.
Where are y'all hearing complaining? I'm not hearing complaining. This guy said, man, yeah, it hurt me. Yeah, I was hurt. It's not often you're going to get a Deion Sanders with so much courage, so much bravado, so much confidence. He exudes confidence. It's not every day you're going to hear him tell you his vulnerable moments. He's not going to express that to the world too often. You ain't going to get that a lot. He ain't going to tell you, oh, man, this bothered me or that bothered me. He ain't going to tell you that much. But for him to express that he was hurt, that's a vulnerable moment for a man to share, a man at his stature. And then you say he's complaining. You rehearsed this. You just couldn't wait to say this. And that's what it's dawning on me, that they couldn't wait to either write or press send on the article that they already wrote. Deion Sanders is complaining because it's not fitting. It's like, it seems like, yo, he should have said this. Man, I wish he would have said the other thing. Then I can say he was complaining. But instead of you altering what you were already going to say, he said this and you called it complaining.
Every time we brought somebody new in, and you're gonna tell me he was
every situation.
You're gonna tell me he had on headphones, Shedeur. Anybody know my son? Understand he's a professional. Like, he's gonna go into a meeting with headphones on. Like, y'all, come on, man.
You see what I'm saying? Like, there is no complaining there. Like, I will come on here against my own wishes because I have a lot of Deion fans, the Bible machete toting aunties will unsubscribe every time. A lot of those people unsubscribe every time I'm critical. You know, they come back. It's like a love-hate relationship. They come back. They'll be like, all right, I got what you were saying. But yeah, I would be critical if I felt like something was array here or something was odd here. If I felt like, yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe Proud shouldn't have said. No, but this guy said, I'm hurt, man. And then he proceeded to say, this is the reason why I was hurt. Because I know my son. I prepared my son all his life for these moments. And I know how prepared he is. I know how respectful he is. He's the one asking Joe Flacco, hey, man, is there anything I can help you with? Because I'm a rookie and I need your help. He's the one doing that. That's how he was raised. But you try to paint this picture, this negative picture for us to believe. And I don't believe the negative picture you're trying to paint. I don't know him personally, but you can see how somebody carries himself. The confidence that they exude. So it's like, we get it. We understand it. We've seen the interviews. Eventually, you would have seen something different. Eventually, you would have saw something that would make you feel like, I don't really, there's something about this kid that's really rubbing off on me wrong. And I don't know if I really like, saying like, yeah, he does his, perfect timing. And yeah, he does those things. And he's, sometimes he's a little brash or whatever. But nah, he's a good kid. Like, everybody knows, like, we've been following this kid. He literally grew up right in front of us. Right in front of us. And there was nothing in the character that made you feel like, nah, yo, these kids, they're not that. So Prime has the right to say, yeah, bruh, I was hurt, and yeah, you said my son wasn't prepared. You put that lie out there. Y'all didn't follow up with no tape or nothing. Y'all just put it out there, and everybody ate it up. It hurt his draft. Before we knew it, we was hearing Jackson Dart from Archo from the facility. Let me tell you why Jackson Dart is the man. I'm like, who told him to do that? I said, somebody paid Archo. When I saw that clip, I said, somebody paid Archo. Somebody got to him. Because it was like the night before the draft or something like that. And I saw Archo come out. He was like, I'm going to tell you why Jackson Dart is the man. Somebody from the Giants organization paid that dude because they knew that they wanted Jackson Dart. And they told him to go say that. Because I was like, where? I was like, what? Where did this come from? All of a sudden, man, we were prepared because Phil's so real. You know, who frequents the show. He said, hey, Harry B, on this show, y'all heard him say it. He said, Harry B, when it comes draft time, we're going to hear a lot of things are going to come out. All right? There's going to be a lot that comes out. People are going to fall. People are going to rise. So just be prepared for that. He prepared us for that. So I was ready. I knew that, you know, the media, one thing that I did know is that the media will say stuff to hurt your draft. So I knew and I was ready, but overnight, like out of a sudden, let me tell you where he got the iPad and he's going over plays. Let me tell you why Jackson Dart. Look at this pass. Oh my gosh, look how poised he is. Like, right? Where were you in Jackson Dart? There's all these months that we've been analyzing the draft. Where were you with this Jackson Dart all of a sudden? And then the Giants pick him. They needed a reason. It's all making sense now. Because you couldn't sell you could not sell our fan base. The New York Giants, my Giants. You can't sell us Jackson Dart. We heard nothing of this guy. Nothing out of the blue. Oh my gosh, he's the greatest. What? Come on, man. What y'all doing, man? What y'all doing? I told y'all if y'all do something stupid, I'm gonna call y'all out. Coach Prime ain't complaining, Mr. Cowherd. That's not. He's on the Cowherd show, but he got to be somebody. He's not Cowherd. Colin Cowherd. What are you doing? Coach Prime is not complaining, bro. That was a rehearsed, something you were ready to say, and you didn't get the opportunity to say it, and you just now are saying it. You rehearsed that. You've been ready to say that. You've been ready to say that. You was ready to say that. You know how Prime is, so you was ready to say that. You had that queued up, and you just couldn't wait. But remember, if you pre-type that email, right, and you're gonna send it a batch send, try to make sure that you have some type of what they used to call them, macros, where the macro you program it, where the when you press send, the macro, the thing that you program would change the different names and would change the expression for each person that you're sending it to, right? Because you have it pre-typed. If you're going to do that, at least adjust it a little bit. It's June 1st and Coach Prime is already complaining. And then you hear about the draft, about what happened in the draft. You're like, no. Your macro did not work. It didn't work, bro. Your macro did not work because he's already complaining about what happened in the draft. The draft is back there. You should say he's already complaining about what's happening with the Browns quarterback situation. Isn't that how language goes? He's already complaining. When you say he's already complaining for what happened, what's happening, when you say he's already, you can't say he's already complaining about what happened back there. No. That's how you know that it was rehearsed. And he just didn't change the format when he was ready to press send. He's already complaining. It's June, and Deion Sanders is already complaining. No. That's not how media works, my guy. You were ready to say that. You were so ready to say that, my guy.
It's the beginning of June, and Deion is already complaining about his son and what went down at the draft. This, my friends, is why Shedeur Sanders fell in the draft. Front offices were just like,
Let's comment. Let's comment while we're live. I'm going to call graduation on this one. And I told y'all when I say graduation, I mean cap and gown. Because I don't just call cap. I want cap and gown. I'm calling graduation. How do you complain? How do I type in here without losing this thing? Come on. Dang it. I'm on this computer, so I can't. Anyways, I'll do that later.
like, no thank you on Shedeur Sanders precisely because of this. Hey, Deion, Shedeur's now 23 years old. I'm not telling a grown man what to do, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, Deion. Next time you were asked about it, hey, man, I wish my son the best. I will be rooting for him hard. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. Go Browns.
You see what I'm saying? Like it feels like what we would do in the media when we are preparing to say something. Like I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. You see what I'm saying? Like, guess what? It feels like something he was going to say about the Cleveland Browns, but Deion didn't give him any red meat for that. Pause. No, did he? Deion didn't give him anything for the Cleveland Browns. Deion did not mention anything about the Cleveland Browns. But he was already ready to say this. That's why he got caught with his pants down. Pause. No Diddy, no everything. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. Like, he didn't even mention the Cleveland Browns. In what he said, he didn't even mention the Cleveland Browns. But here he is. Here he is right there talking about, I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. Coach Prime didn't say anything about the Cleveland Browns.
Just stop. All you're doing is hurting Shedeur.
How is he hurting Shedeur by just expressing himself? All right. Carnivore says, so he wants CP to lie. No, he wants CP to say, he wants Coach Prime. They were waiting for Coach Prime to say something about the Cleveland Browns. They were waiting for Coach Prime to complain about the Cleveland Browns and their process. That's what they all want. They all want Coach Prime to say something. And that was a rehearsed statement that they were ready to say. They're ready to press send. A lot of these writers have stuff that they have already written and they're ready to press send. The second that they are given the go, they're ready. And they're just waiting for Coach Prime. They're like, go ahead. Come on, Prime. Give me one. Please, Coach Prime, say something. He ain't saying it. He's not giving you what you're looking for. The man has a God-given right to express his feelings about his son and what happened to his son. If that's what you're called complaining, that's not what you were waiting for. You just didn't do the macros right. All of y'all who were computer people, raise your hand in the chat. If you were a computer person and you knew back in the day, if you mess with macros and you written certain things so that if you did a batch send, it'll change the names. You know what I'm saying? If y'all computer people, raise your hand. My son is my son is going to go for computer programming. And praise God. I didn't do computer programming because I thought I could be a filmmaker. I should have went with the computer programming because I got like 6 credits in high school, and I was going to go to because I knew computers pretty well, so they gave me some credits. I should have took the credits, got the money from the computers, used that to make films. That way, I didn't have to depend on Hollywood hiring me or nothing. I would have been making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I could have just started making my own movies. And by now, Okay. I'm sorry. I'm reminiscing. Yeah. Oh, I want to do it all over, Lord. I will go to. I will. Yeah. If you are a young filmmaker out there, let me give you a little bit of advice. This is off script. If you are an aspiring filmmaker, a producer, a director, a writer, yada yada yada, go get money. Okay? Go after a job with money because filmmaking only needs money. If you're already talented, like go get money first. If you are a parent, a cousin, or aunt, or uncle, or somebody that knows a young filmmaker up and coming, secure a bag and you can make your films. Hollywood has changed. The way that we used to do it, where we the only ones that knew how to use those big gigantic cameras because the layman didn't know those buttons. We knew because we studied it. We went to school for it. That's no longer. Now people are making millions of dollars, thousands, $100,000. I saw this video last night. My wife shared with me. There was this guy. He put up a short, and he was like, I think they called themselves the creatives or whatever. He said, make the content. Make the content. He said, I made $100 and something thousand just in the last 2 months. I said, what? I told my wife, I said, press play again. What did he say? He said he made $100 and something thousand in the last 2 months from this. How can we compete with this? How do you go to school all your life to become a filmmaker, and then right after you graduate, this thing takes over? And now we're not. Anyway, tell them to go after the money, and then you can make your film when you have the money. I think things go in like 10 years increments. All right. If you go after the money, you secure the bag within 10 years. Don't neglect the film. Make short films, make short content using your phone, and just so you can keep sharp on how to direct. Talk to actors. Hey, I want you over here. Now you have AI that can give you camera angles. You feel me? So do that, and then you can stay sharp so that when you got the money now within the 5 to 10 years, you go make a movie. You can sell it to one of these content platforms, and if you're good, you'll get there. All right. That's just a little bit of advice for young people that are coming up in the game. So, what are y'all saying here? Aruka girl said, every other man, let me put this up. Every other man can work towards putting their kids in position to win, but when a black man works on behalf of their own, there's a problem. Stop trying to diminish black men and keep them quiet. I mean, it's not just a black man, it's specifically Prime. It's specifically Prime. He's being targeted. Yes, he's black, but he's specifically Prime. Because I'm telling you, they were ready to say that stuff they were talking about. I mean, I don't understand. You're saying he's complaining. They were ready to say that. They just the articles and stuff is written, ready to go. So that stuff, that's what it sounds like. It feels weird. What else you're saying? Who else is that? ESPN guy never played football, so why would anyone take that tether seriously? He's a nobody. TH, who are you offending now? Oh Lord, TH. TH, what are you saying now? Are you offending people again? Oh, Ty Smith. What up with you, Ty Smith? Dallas is in the building, Ty Smith. I didn't see you in there. TH, what are you doing now? At Unspoken, a sign you are triggered is calling a stranger stating facts a yapper and a troll. Even through my comments, is far from being trolling. It's not just Prime. Todd Smith said it's not just prom. It's just not prom. T said, "T.S. What was your original? What did you say, man? Because you always what are you agitating now? Let me see if I can find this thing. What did you say, TH? I'm sure you said something. You good for that too. You said I didn't know anything about football. Now me and you are cool. I still don't know enough to be saying I'm good enough." I can't find it, TH. I'm sure you agitated. Somebody, I can't find it. I'm sorry. This ain't going to end. This whole, I want to pivot and talk about the Kevin Stefanski stuff, but this ain't going to end. So let's turn our attention to Kevin Stefanski. Y'all don't take stuff personal, guys. Let's keep it let's keep it cordial in the chat, guys. This is a platform where people can come and express themselves without taking personal jabs at people. That's the platform I'm trying to make sure that we got. All right, Kevin Stefanski dismisses public overreaction as Browns QB competition continues forward. This is written by Chris Esterlin. Chris Esterlin, what up with you? So reports are out that Shador may be cut. The Browns, Stefanski doesn't want him. Yada yada yada. Rocky River, a quarterback competition always is a guarantee to raise the level of off-season this discourse, good and bad for any football team. It's been no different for the Browns, who are choosing among 4 quarterbacks to be their opening day quarterback. The quarterbacks involved in the competition, former Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. Let me skip all of this. That makes every video clip or comment to come out of the Browns facility, especially now doing the offseason program, like manna from heaven to those seeking that kind of content. It also means those clips, comments are parsed like the Zapruder film for clues, whatever that means. I'm sorry. My public school education failed me on that one. Okay, so Browns coach Kevin Stefanski said he understands the interest. However, he's not about to get caught up in the dialogue. Here is what he said. I know in our day and age, one clip or one day or one practice can be all that gets out there to the public, Stefanski said at the Cleveland Browns Foundation golf tournament on Monday, May the 2nd. I will tell you, the guys are working extremely hard. They're doing everything that we're asking of them. And we're very excited about all of our guys. I know a lot of attention goes to that quarterback room. I get it. That's the most important position in football. But I'm really proud of all the guys for how hard they're working really throughout this off season. That's it? That's all you gave us? Is there more? I think external noise is nothing new in pro sports. He's toting the line. He's toting the line. Nothing to see here. I thought I had good content. I'm sorry. I failed you, my audience. If y'all left, I will understand. He's toting the lines. Oh, my AI assistant failed me. Note to AI assistant, I know you're listening. The next time you give me something to do a show on, make sure you're giving me good meaty content, okay? Not somebody toting the lines. Because all you do is scan the internet and bring me information that I can use to give to these people. I'm sorry, guys. My assistant failed me this time. Because this is garbage. I'm so sorry. This is garbage. I think external noise is nothing new in pro sports. And whatever the noise may be, and that's kind of our job, Stefanski said. That's the fun part for me. He's lying. He's touting the lines. He's lying. That is not the fun part for him because you skipped over Shador. So stop lying. You did not want Shador. You're lying. You passed him twice. It wasn't until the owner called you and said, don't leave Shador on that board, and you traded back up to go get him. Stop lying. That's not the fun part for you. Ooh, I love Prime. Prime would tell you that's some BS. Man, when you hear nonsense like this, like everybody is waiting for you to say something, this is what you're saying, like this is so scripted. That's the fun part for me. I get to go into work and pull in and close the door and get to work and not focus very much on that. That's a lie. We understand that exists. We understand that there's a great interest in our sport. Wait, did he just say that? Hold on, let me put on the bigger screen. Did he just say we understand that there's a great interest in our sport? Somebody fired this guy. Like today. Did I just ask for somebody to be fired? God forgive me. I'll repent later. Somebody fired this guy. God almighty. Where is this thing? Come on. Go to the bigger screen. Did this guy just say we understand that people are interested in our sport? How disrespectful is this, bro? What? Come on, man. Like, what is he taking us to be, bro? We understand that exists. We understand that there's a great interest in our sport. No, Stefanski, there is great interest in Shador, not your sport. We can care less about the Cleveland Browns. We want Shador. Cleveland Browns suck. You're the worst organization in the sport you're talking about us being interested in. You suck. We want Shador information. That's what keeps us going, is our fans' level of interest in our sport. Negro, please. Is he a Negro? No, he's not. He's white. Oh, what? Whatever. So I completely get that part, but it doesn't factor into our day-to-day. Stop. This guy is, this is why I hate coach talk. This is why I hate coach talk. That doesn't factor into your day-to-day? You mean you it's like saying, you know what? I'm not a racist. I don't see color. Really? You don't see nothing going on in the media. You don't see that your organization, which is the worst organization in the NFL, you don't see the worst organization now getting all of this attention? And you don't mention the name of the person giving you all of that attention. You don't say, be honest with us. You don't give us 100% of your time to say who we are here for. How dare you? How dare you, Stefanski? A flunky? How you take our... You're Liberian. You're not American. Your green card can expire. Be careful. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this serious? Like, that is so disingenuous. This is the worst thing I've ever heard a coach say. We're not here Let me back this up. Give me a second. Oh my gosh. Mm-mm. 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 They're not here for football. They're here for Shador. Stefanski. Okay? Stop playing games. Stop playing with us. We're not here. Oh, let me not say we. I'm here for football too. But these aunties, I can tell you 70% of them are not here for football. They're here for Shador. Stop playing with us. Stop playing around with this. It's like you're not ready for this moment. Like you don't understand this moment, Stefanski. It's like you don't understand what's going on, Stefanski. Stop playing with us, yo. Like be a genuine person. Let me keep reading. Maybe he does say it. Maybe he recognizes why people are all of a sudden interested in the Browns, the doo-doo Browns. Let me finish reading. Give me a second, guys. Even in my limited public school education, in Bowie State University, in Bowie, Maryland, give me my master's degree, please. I finished all the classes. I passed those. I got a 3-point-something GPA. I know I didn't finish my thesis, but I'm educated. Don't play with my mind. You ain't stupid. We have a lot of work to do. And don't really pay much attention to what's going on outside. That's a lie. If you got kids, uncles, everybody's talking about this. Stop playing with us. Any more quotes? Okay, so here, okay, what else? I think OT was Stefanski said Monday. There's no quote. June 2nd that Sanders was expected to get 111. There's no quote. Where's the quote? Here's some quote. I would say there's a lot of work that gets done when your guys aren't out there, believe it or not. Or when you guys aren't out there, believe it or not. But even in a meeting or in a walkthrough, our guys are getting exposed to a lot. Where is the other quote? I think the big thing is, and we've talked about this is an all-encompassing evaluation, Stefanski said. We were evaluating the guys during phase 1, during phase 2, and now finally phase 3. You get to go against your defense in some settings where our quarterbacks and our offense get to go against them in 7-on-7 and some team drills. So all of that adds up to reps for us to look at, and it's not just looking at the results of a play. We're looking really at everything with these guys. I think, as you guys know, there's only so much you can do based on the rules, the constraints that you have, whether it's 7-on-7 in teams, Stefanski says. So we try not to look too much into the result, just black and white. If that makes sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense if you're looking at it from black and white. Okay. So we try not to look at too much into the result, just black and white, if that makes sense. Because there's things that our defense isn't doing, and things that our offense isn't going to gain advantage, if that makes sense. So where is it? I see nothing. He's playing with our emotions. He's playing with our intelligence. I told you I'm educated here. So, I mean, if you are a real coach, somebody who really understands the moment and can really take, like a real coach, somebody who knows what he has, right, will handle this moment, and you can tell that they are in charge. Like they're not a puppet. I feel like this guy's a puppet. Like he's not a real man when it comes to like standing on his, like he can go into that organization and say, sir, I know you want Shador, but I don't want him. And if you want me to be the coach of this here Browns team, I'm not picking him. I want Dylan, and we're going to focus on Dylan because Pickett, he ain't got it all together. Flacco is 40. He hasn't played more than 9 games since he was 30 years old. And so I need this young man to come in, and I need to focus every single rep that I have on him. I want Dylan. And then he would have been out the door, obviously, but still, at least you're a man. You walked out of there with your pants still on. You don't come out of there with skinny jeans and girl underwear, right? You don't come out of there with yoga pants on and still have your job, right? Because you're a man, right? If you are a real coach and you really had like power, if you knew that you were the man, you can stand and say, look, I understand everybody's excited about Shador, but we have other quarterbacks in this room that we got to see. Shador would get his opportunity. I'm not oblivious to the noise that's outside. We hear it. We know what's going on. Okay? We're going to give Shador enough space to succeed. But we have other quarterbacks in this room. We have Dylan, we have Flacco, we got Pickett. And Deshaun, if he gets healthy. Somebody with confidence would say that. I feel like somebody who's in their skin, who understands, they won't sell us this bull junkie that Stefanski is saying over here. People are interested in our sport. We get it. We understand that. But that whatever's outside doesn't faze us. If outside doesn't faze you, then why did you skip over Shador twice and then bring him in? You're a liar. If all you think about is football, you're liars. A real man, a real coach's coach. You know when you have a coach's coach in the locker room because they're not afraid of situations outside. They deal with it. You've seen those coaches. Remember? Dang it, I can't remember his name. Allen Iverson at Georgetown. You remember? Those kind of coaches, they understand what they got. Phil Jackson with Dennis Rodman and Jordan. They know how to take in personalities, and they know how to use the media to their advantage. A coach's coach, you know them when you see them. Not this joker that's about to lose his job soon. I'm not wishing ill will on him. I'm just saying, like, come on, you're the worst team in the daggone NFL. It's, bro, like, be serious, my guy. Shador Sanders is a phenomenon that's happening to the NFL. You've outsold jerseys. You got the aunties out here. You got them to deal with out here. People are interested in your team. How can you come out here, make a statement, and not mention? We understand that there's a vast interest in our team now. Let me help you all out for the media stuff. To be real, authentic, but still not say too much. This is how you know good companies. Because they know how to take situations. A phenomenal lightning in a bottle situation. They know how to treat this information. They understand it, and they stand with their chest out, and they embrace it. They say we understand what's going on. We are fully aware that there is new energy with the Browns. A lot of new fans have come here, and we know it is because of Deion Sanders' son, Shador Sanders. You say that. You recognize that. Not this ball junkie talking about people are interested in our sport. Your sport was going down, way down since Colin Kaepernick. Stop playing with us like we don't understand what's going on out here. We ain't stupid. The NFL has been in a decline since Colin Kaepernick. We ain't been watching. And I know y'all knew that. We ain't been watching. Y'all know that. play with us like we stupid out here. Y'all know the numbers been declining. You got new energy. You trying to, what are you doing? These people's interested in our sport. Ain't nobody interested in the daggone Browns. Y'all suck. We ain't interested in the Browns. We're interested in Shador. Shador only. Nobody cares about y'all. And you know it. But if you are a real organization, you would address that. You would address the elephant in the room like a real man. Stand with your chest up. Be a real coach. Stand up there and say, man, I know what's going on. That's how we know people are real. That's why people appreciate Deion so much. And that's why some people don't like him. Because he would just tell you, well, you think I don't know what's going on? You think I don't know that Shador's here and everybody's all of a sudden interested in the Browns? You don't know that we got new energy? That's how we get to meet you, who you are, the real you. When you go home and you start talking bad about Shador, we know the real you. We know that you are a real person, not this plastic nonsense that you're trying to sell us about people are interested in our sport. We ain't interested in your sport. We're not. We're interested in Shador, stupid. I thought I was going to be able to do this thing. I didn't even pre-read it. My AI assistant sent me this and it was like, look, this is something that's going on. You should talk about it. I was like, okay, cool. I put it on the show. I got to pre-read everything now. Daggone AI. Yeah, man, you got to, come on, man. If y'all a real organization, man, y'all would address the elephant in the room. Next time y'all go out there and you're talking to the media, don't treat us like we're stupid because we can leave this team quick. All right? We dusty YouTubers, we will take everybody with us. Y'all don't want this. This is a problem y'all don't want. We would take everybody with us. We will watch a whole nother team. I promise you, this is a problem you don't want. You better address us. You better address these aunties. They are real. These aunties are worldwide. They're real. And that machete is sharp. Yo, man. That's what you got to do. You got to say it. You got to say what's in front of us. We see it. And that's how we know that we'll give you kudos. We'll give you points, style points, and say, all right, the organization understands that we out here. They addressed us. They're like, yo, we know the aunties are out there. We know that people are interested in this team, and it's mostly because of Shador Sanders. But we got other quarterbacks that we want to, we gotta look at. Shador's doing well. Everybody's doing well. Shador's doing okay. He's holding his own. You can say something like that. You can say, look, Shador's, he's holding his own. But so is every other quarterback, and we're going to go through the process and allow the process to play itself out. And at the end, we're going to choose a quarterback. So just stay tuned for that. If we hear something like that, we would say, Stefanski, you're a real one. But you know what you are? You a coward. You a plastic puppet. You are a plastic puppet, Stefanski. And I said it here on TLP Sports Club. If I ever meet you, I say it into your face. I'm lying, but still. I say, hi, Mr. Stefanski. Thank you so much for the interview. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe you gave me an opportunity to do an interview. Come on, my guy. You know I can code switch just like the best of them. But while I'm on here, while I'm in New York in my studio, you are a plastic puppet, fool. Oh, this dude is a plastic puppet. He a fool, man. Like, come on now. You ain't a real coach, my guy. And bro, if you lose 4.5, you only win 4.5 games. I don't know how you do a 0.5, but if you only win 4 to 5 games, you're fired anyway. So I don't even have to remember whatever your name is. You out of here soon anyway. Bring in a real coach. Somebody who can address the situations head on. Hey, Cleveland Browns, y'all got to take situations. Just be real. We're out here. We're human. We know what y'all dealing with. You don't have to give us too much. And yes, are we going to read into it too much? If you say, Shador's doing his thing, yes, we're going to read too much into it, and we're going to write 1,000 articles. So yes, this is something you're supposed to kind of do, but at least we know that there have been organizations like Coach Prime. He tells it like it is. If he knows he got a unicorn, he will say he got a unicorn. Coach Prime, he ain't afraid to say, no, that guy is him. He would say, oh, Shador is him. And if it was Travis Hunter, he would say, oh, Travis Hunter is him. That's why we love Coach Prime, because he's the type of coach that would just tell you what it is, because he knows you're human and you ain't stupid. He ain't going to pretend that you're stupid. He'll just tell you, like, look, man, our O-line sucks, and we need some bigger guys. Coach Prime, you know what I'm saying? Like, the things you hate for some of y'all, the thing that some of y'all hate about Coach Prime is the thing that you be asking for from other people. I'm trying to tell you. Because I'm looking at this guy and I'm reading his stuff and I'm like, what is this nonsense? What is this nonsense that he's putting up here? People are interested in our sport? Bruh, don't say that. If anything you're going to say, don't say that. The Doodle Browns are the worst team in the NFL, and it's been projected by ESPN that they're going to be the worst team again this year. They've been projected by the betting lines to win only 4.5 games. People are interested in the sport, but for the Eagles, for the Titans, for the Commanders, because we see Jalen Daniels, he's doing a lot of things over there. All right, for the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? And it's not because of who you think it is. It's because of the Swifties. Taylor Swift is making them interesting, okay? We like them. But don't give us this crap about people who are interested in our sport. Just say what it is, bro. So, yes, a lot of people are interested in Shador. And he's working hard. Maybe just say that. Just say, look, Shador's working. He came in here. He's working hard. And we're going to evaluate him and everybody else. And we would have been fine with that. But you're sitting here acting stupid. Man, your job's going to be gone anyway. I ain't worried about you, man. I'm not worried about you. Not at all. I hate the Browns. In case I haven't told y'all, the Browns suck and I hate them. But I got to deal with them. All right. I got another queued up stuff. Let's go through that, and then we'll be done with this show. I hope I'm adding a little bit of value to your morning, guys. This is how the show goes, okay? In case y'all didn't know. This is how the show goes. This is from buffstampede.com on YouTube. I want to say salute to this guy right here, Adam Mustard Tiger, and on his left-hand side is Brian Howell. This footage is not mine. I'm just using it to commentate.
And they haven't even got to training camp yet, Adam. So, yeah, buckle up, Cleveland media. It's going to be a ride there. And, but it looks like Shador's making the absolute most of it. And I don't know about you, but I think he's handled it the way I thought he would. Kind of, mature about it. And, he's not bitter about where he was drafted. He's just like, hey, cool, I got a shot. Let's go out there and work.
This is the premium Garmin Duffel 45 liter by Half Day. It's a transforming 2-in-1 travel duffel bag for long weekends, weddings.
There it goes.
Yeah, and you look at that roster, and I'm sorry, Dylan Gabriel is not beating out Shador Sanders.
Hold on,
when push comes to shove.
Wait. Don't just say that. You can't just say that and just you can't just run over that. Like, in case y'all don't know, these guys are the beat writers for the Buffs, okay? These guys, they cover the Buff. They cover a lot of football. They eat, sleep, and dream football from the college perspective, of course, but they know about Dylan Gabriel. They saw him play at Oregon. In case you didn't know, if if you have a great O-line, you have a great recruiting class like Oregon, and they have a great team, you can just take a decent quarterback and drop them in that situation. They ain't got to be great. They just got to be good. Just drop them in that situation. They ain't got to be a Shador. No, they don't have to be a clutch quarterback who's being trained by Tom Brady and the GOAT, the greatest quarterback to ever do it with like, how many rings he got? 7 or 8? No, just take a decent quarterback and just drop him at Oregon and yeah, I mean, they're going to be all right. But you can't say because he played at Oregon that he can beat a Shador out of a competition, of a head-to-head competition. That's where some of y'all are so deranged. Like you say, you quote-unquote know football, but you're just delusional. Like you think because we like Shador and y'all hate him, y'all think we just delusional for calling out what we already know. But you thinking Dylan Gabriel is better than a Shador? No, Dylan Gabriel was a serviceable quarterback who played in a great system. Shador did not have the luxury of playing in a great system. So stop playing with me. Like, learn how to analyze football and talent before you come at me. Because here at TRP, I'm gonna get at you. I'm gonna get at you, son.
Let's go out there and work.
Yeah, and you look at that.
I want him to say it again for the people in the back.
That roster, and I'm sorry, Dylan Gabriel is not beating out Shador Sanders when push comes to shove. Yeah. Joe Flacco, when was his prime? 10 years ago? No offense. Maybe you want him as your backup, or Kenny Pickett as your backup, but
yeah,
I mean, Shador Sanders is the most talented quarterback on that roster with the highest upside.
I think so, and I keep telling people my prediction is Flacco wins the job, and Shador is the starter at some point this year. I mean, I was looking, I think it was 2017 was the last time Flacco played more than 9 games in a season.
We're in 2024. We're in 2024. Brian Howell is a writer. This is a guy that has research at his fingertips. So he does have the resources to be able to find this type of information. So he said he was looking at, and he's white. And these two guys are white. Like, there are real white guys. Maybe Adam Mustard Tiger. Maybe he's Italian, so he's not so white. But Brian looks like he's a purebred, like, Boulder white guy, right? So these guys got information. Okay, we're in 2025. Okay, 2025, we're here. In 2017, the last time that Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old, made it through a 16-game season was 2017. Like 3 years before COVID. How long ago have we been out of COVID? Like 3 years now? Oh, did I say 2024? My bad. When you speak fast, you go over information. Let's run it back just a little bit more.
I think so, and I keep telling people my prediction is Flacco wins the job.
Dylan Gabriel is not
the absolute most of it, and I don't know about you, but I think he's handled it the way I thought he would. Kind of mature about it, and he's not bitter about where he was drafted. He's just like, hey, cool, I got a shot. Let's go out there and work.
Yeah, and you look at that roster, and I'm sorry, Dylan Gabriel is not beating out Shador Sanders when push comes to shove. Yeah. Joe Flacco, when was his prime? 10 years ago? No offense. Maybe you want him as your backup, or Kenny Pickett as your backup, but
yeah.
I mean, like, that's how we know. Like, that's how the NFL works. and let me say this for a lot of y'all who are in the back of the room. And I really mean that with the most disrespect as I can muster up on this channel. 32 teams could have picked Shador. All right. 5 teams needed a quarterback now. But 32 teams could have picked Shador. Because what you do is, it ain't like you're going to replace Taylor Swift, right? You're going to bring somebody in, and you're gonna start working on them because you know that Taylor Swift can't play forever, right? You know that Taylor Swift is in the decline. Taylor Swift has been hurt I hope y'all understand when I'm saying Taylor Swift, I'm meaning Mahomes, right? I hope y'all understand I'm saying Mahomes, really. Well, because Taylor Swift ain't going to play forever. So, yeah, even with the Eagles, right? Hurt ain't going to be there forever. So you bring in the new guy and you start working him into your system. He's holding the clipboard. He's there. He's listening. He's taking it all in. He's at practice. He's doing everything. So maybe like 2 to 3 years down the road, when your quarterback starts to take that decline, you're like, yo, bada boom, bada bang, your guy's ready. So that's how this works. So 32 teams. For the people in the back, 32 teams passed on Shedeur. There were 5 teams that needed an immediate quarterback. 5 teams. All right. I believe it was the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was the New York Jets. The 2 New York teams. The New York Giants. Not the 2 New York teams, because the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo is in New York. So the New York Jets and the New York Giants needed quarterbacks. I forget the other 2. I think that's 3. I just named 3. The Saints, that's 4. Yeah, the New Orleans Saints needed a quarterback. And somebody put the 5th one in there. I forget what the 5th one is. There's 5 teams that needed an immediate quarterback, but there are teams that that could have chose. Obviously the Oilers that chose Cam Ward. They needed a quarterback. So yeah, I mean they chose Cam Ward. So they needed a quarterback. All right. The Oilers. So yeah, but that's how it works. You bring in a new guy. Some guys are still sitting, like they'll sit for a while. Sometimes it can go up to like 3 to 5 years, and then you bring them in when they're ready, and then they'll start winning. Because they've been doing it for a while. Tennessee, yeah, it was Tennessee. I figured it out through Cam Ward. I was like, oh wait a minute, Cam Ward got chosen. So yeah, the Tennessee Oilers. So yeah, man, 32 teams passed him up. 32 teams passed him up. And for what reason? We're still trying to figure it out. We're still lost.
I mean, Shedeur Sanders is the most talented quarterback on that roster with the highest upside.
I think so. And I keep telling people.
And remember, when you're white, you're right. So these are 2 white guys, with the exception of Mustard Tiger, who's a little bit of Italian. He got black blood in him. Because I think Italians are black. Because I don't know any Italian that's really white. Like I live with Italians in Brooklyn. And those people are black. I don't care what you say. Italians are not all white. They're just different. Harry, what you doing? What you doing, Harry? What you doing? Come on. No complaining, Harry. Just work. Just work, okay, Harry? Just work. No complaining, okay? Life is messed up. We all got problems, Harry. Just work, okay?
Well, most people are black, okay? Flacco wins the job, and Shedeur's the starter at some point this year. I mean, I was looking, I think it was 2017 was the last time Flacco played more than 9 games in a season, and so he's not lasting a 17-game season at 40 if he hasn't even played.
Wait, when did the NFL go to 17? Did I miss him? Is it 17 games or are they counting a playoff? Dang, I ain't been watching for that long. They went to 17 games and I missed that? Dang. Is there a play-in game? 17? Somebody help me out in the chat. Like, is this 17 games or is this 16? Are they counting the play-in?
He hasn't even played that in his 30s, late 30s. So I think Shedeur's going to be the starter at some point. I look at that quarterback room and I'm like, that's almost as good of a spot as you could have possibly landed with the talent in that room, or the lack of talent in that room, in my opinion. And, I think it's a good situation when your competition is.
No, KMS, you can take me serious. Is it 17 games or is it 16 games? But you know football. Okay, if I admit I don't know football, will y'all tell me if it's 17 or 16? Okay, I don't know football. Can y'all tell me the real name? Oh man. Is it 16 or 17? I thought it was 16 because the last time I remember, my Washington Redskins went 16-0. So I don't remember 17. When did we go 17? Dang. It's 17? In 2021, they went to 17 games? It'll be 18 games? Yo, they play a 17-game season? What was the rationale for that? See? Look, since Colin Kaepernick, I was in the midst of that Colin Kaepernick protest, and I only read about the NFL on the New York Daily News. I only read about it. I don't watch it. So I'll read about it so I can keep up, so I can know what's going on with the Giants, the Jets. Every now and then I'll tune into the Giants and the Jets. And then my Commanders, right? My Redskins. No disrespect to the Indians.
There's a 40-year-old, a guy who's entering his like third or fourth year, but on his third.
Oh, our time said they took away a preseason game. Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. Okay, all right. Yo, I appreciate that. All right, so I said I didn't know about football just so I can get that information, but I'm taking that back now. I know about football again.
Third or fourth team. And then
y'all really know y'all can't get at me, right? Like, it's a guy that laughs at himself, it's really hard to hurt their feelings. So if you're trying, like, it's not going to work because I don't care. I don't know. I have a block. Like, what are those things? Like, I have these things where that blocks BS. I have a BS blocker. I laugh at myself, so I don't care. Like, you can't laugh at me more than I can laugh at myself. I admit my faults and my shortcomings. Okay.
Dillon Gabriel. I think that's a pretty good situation for Shedeur.
Yeah,
if he's as good as we think he is, that's a great situation for Shedeur.
And I do think he's really good. And
yeah,
I do think in 5 years that the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants are kind of kicking themselves. We'll see how it plays out. Obviously, this is covered on every other platform out there, and I like to stick more with the current Buffs.
Right.
And Coach Prime's trying to get back to them. He was on with Asante Samuel on his podcast, and they cleared up a beef they had a long time ago when Coach Prime was on the NFL Network. It was a pretty good interview. It's a little over an hour. If you're driving around, I would recommend pulling that up. It's some good dialogue. But Coach Prime at the very end of that interview revealed that he's not been doing great lately. He lost 14 pounds. He did say, quote, "I'm coming back." So I would expect him back in Boulder soon. They do have some recruits lined up for this coming weekend. First off, Coach Prime's been through so much medically the last few years. You got to start with the human element and just hope that he's doing okay. 14 pounds, you're going to feel weak and tired, and that's not a good situation. So hopefully we see him come back to Boulder with that regular vigor that we see from Coach Prime.
Yeah, I can lose 14 pounds and feel great. For him, probably not. So.
Brian Howard, you're like me, bro. You lose 14 pounds and you're like, praise God, I can breathe again. My sinus is better. It's better. The dad bod is going away a little bit.
So much, but yeah, you hope he gets back to that, and he has been through a lot. I mean, you go back to the Jackson days, and it's been well chronicled. But he's been through a lot physically, and hopefully he's back on his feet, soon, and back with the Buff.
Hold up, Wild Dog. What are you talking about? 8 and 9? You think the Browns are going to go 8 and 9 this year? Come on, Wild Dog. Name 8 teams. Wild Dog, I'm going to wait. I need you to name 8 teams that you think the Browns are going to beat this year. I need those 8 teams, Wild Dog. Or you're going to, if you well enough to come on the show and tell me those 8 teams. Email me. I got the email open now. Flacco is good for 4 wins. All right, what are the 4 teams they're beating? QB1, Shedeur Sanders says 12 and 5 with Shedeur at QB1. I mean, with a name like Shedeur Sanders, I can't tell that you're biased. Not at all. I don't know if you're biased at all.
Because they need him, and his presence around town and around that building is huge.
Just going into the summer, a couple things stood out to me when I just kind of look at where this football team is. And the first is, Brian, I want to ask you this question. You've been covering the Bucs for a very long time. Have you seen an offensive line group 1 to 16 like the group they have right now in terms of the depth of that?
The truth is, behind closed doors, the P word became my secret sin at age 10. And for
that group.
No, I don't think so. And I'm still very curious to see how it all comes together and where the pieces are going to land. But I look at it and I keep thinking, I don't know how this group won't be better than what they were last year. And the pieces they're picking up now, are obviously.
This is the part where I transition to the college football conversation. And for those of you who are still here for Shedeur, we need to know what's going on with Prime. Okay, we need to understand what's going on with Prime and at Colorado. I know Shedeur is over there with the Browns, with the Doodoo Browns. And did I tell you I don't like the Browns? Let's talk about college a little bit.
The late pieces, you're looking for depth, but there's still guys that have got some pretty good starting experience. And so to see that depth and talent on there, I'm like, yeah, I mean, obviously Colorado's not had great offensive lines in a long time. I'm not sure. How long have you been covering the Bucs? I know it's a few years more than me, but have they had a great offensive line?
See, I didn't get the 01 season, so I was 03. Yeah. They've had individuals. They've had groups that have performed well. Like I think 2016 was a group. I think 2019 with Coach Cap, who is now the O-line coach at Alabama. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a good group, but I haven't seen the depth ever anywhere near this level of what they have in terms of the number of guys that you legitimately would not be surprised if they were starting this season.
Yeah, I agree with you. And
okay. You see, that's why I lean on my guys. That's why I lean on these writers and these beat guys. They can contrast from year to year to do their assessment based on what they know from the time that they've been covering the team. And they're very much in there. You know what I'm saying? Like swimwear. That's why I lean on these guys. The beat writers, they know what's happening. But Mary Kay, that Mary Kay, homegirl is giving me hater vibes. I can't hold you. I'm trying to vibe with Mary Kay. I don't have a good sensing yet with Mary Kay over there with the Cleveland Browns. There's another guy that's an insider, but I don't want to sound like I'm sexist or nothing. It's just Mary Kay. She ain't giving me these vibes that she's neutral. I know the closer you are to the team, if you're a beat writer like you are, you know what I'm saying? You're for the team and you know, but like neutral meaning like you don't care because you should be like that the secret service agent who it don't matter if they got Obama or they got Donald Trump or it doesn't matter which president. They're locked in with their job and they know I don't care who comes into this office. I'm here to take a bullet for you. I'm here to die for you. You feel me? Like that's how I want my beat writers to be. I don't care what the players are. I'm for this team and I'm going to write whatever I can write to help the team move forward or to assimilate information to the fan base to give them some true information. That's how I want my beat writers to be. You feel me? But not like because you have some type of ill feeling towards somebody, like you start picking teams, you start picking sides, like the way that you're covering certain players, you're not giving good information, and you're like, well, Shedeur doesn't have, he didn't have anything about, he didn't know anything about transitioning because he only had one coordinator. He's been with Shermer forever. What? The dude had like 6 different coordinators. What are you talking about, Mary Kay? Get your crap together. Stop playing with this Christian man. And I'm African. Goat me, stand up.
yeah, like I said, they've had some individuals like David Bakhtiari has been here, since we've been covering him, and he was obviously left tackle for a long time in the NFL, and Nate Solder, Ryan Miller, who played with the Browns, actually was drafted by the Browns. So they've had some good individuals, but I think this has a chance to be up there with that 16 to 19 offensive line groups as far as the quality there. It's not a high bar, but I think it's one that you look at and say, all right, there's some potential here.
Did y'all hear what he just said? Did y'all hear what Brian Howell, the beat writer for the Colorado Buffaloes, just said? That reminiscence from the 2016 Colorado Buffaloes offensive line that was very decent. Because if 2016 was they had a defensive, like, is that real? Is that for real? Yo. Okay, so this is where it gets exciting. Remember that thing I told you about Dylan Gabriel, where you can insert if you have a good offensive line, a good defensive line, a good coach and everything around them, you can just insert a serviceable quarterback and just drop them into that system. And if they're good, they should be, if they're decent, they don't have to be a superhero like Shedeur Sanders. They don't have to be like the best quarterback in college football, in all of college football, like Shedeur Sanders. I'm poking at the haters. In case you didn't see what I was doing there. Like, you ain't got to be like the best college football quarterback in like 4 years, like Shedeur Sanders, right? You just have to be a good quarterback like Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel is a good quarterback. Just put him there. He's like one of those guys that are, he get girls in high school because he's 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, but he walks like he walks down the hallway like he's really that dude. He really isn't. You know what I'm saying? But you got to play the part. So yeah, you just need a good Dylan Gabriel. You go to Colorado, you need a Shedeur Sanders. Because they're not that great. I didn't want to say they suck, but they're not that great. So you need a good, like a general, a quarterback that has the confidence of a grown man. And his dad calls him grown. You need somebody like that. But now, Colorado right now, they have a good O-line. So now we're talking Julian Lewis. We're talking Kaden Salter. Kaden Salter is a mobile quarterback. He can get out of the pocket. He can stay in the pocket. He has a good arm. So this is starting to feel like Colorado can be a good team. Okay. All right, now you're going to get me excited, and I got to go digging for information now. I need to go and start finding information about who's on that O-line, who their cousin is, what their cousin says about them. The kind of videos that I do here on this show, where I go and I find information. Like, he's getting me back in that feeling again. Because before, I'm like, the boys are gone. Oh, woe is me. I don't know. I don't feel like doing the Colorado videos. I feel like they're going to suck this year. Shedeur and Travis is gone. Oh, boy. But you're telling me that this line is going to be good? Yo, Sayon, what up with you, homie? This is interesting. This is good stuff. Let's keep listening.
Yeah. I also look at the running back position, and I don't know how you make it through a season with 4 scholarship backs, unless you're really lucky. And I just keep thinking, okay, if either Draylen Miller or Cam Michael just moves to running back, how much better does that make you feel about that group?
I would like it better if it was Cam, just because we've seen Draylen as a receiver, and I don't know if I want to move him out of there. But I don't know about you, but like
Draylen at running back? All right, what are you saying? TH says, let's put up TH. TH been catching strays, and my guy TH been catching strays, and he's been giving them too, I'm sure. like I said, I don't know what he said to start that whole war, because every time I look down, it's TH in the podcast and they're just going at each other. I don't know. What are y'all doing, man? Y'all keep it cool. Hard to tell. CU don't need impact players like Hunter to be successful, especially in the Big 12. If number 1, coach is better, number 2, talent is just good, number 3, Big 12 remains mid. I mean, I don't see anything wrong you said there. I mean, Coach Prime is a decent coach. He's really learning on the job. He's done a lot. I think he's getting a lot better and better. Talent is good, yeah. I mean, if the talent, I think Colorado, if I lean on these guys, okay, because I don't have the beat like they do. Okay, I don't know. I don't have like the research information, because in order for this thing to work, you got to know the guys that are coming in. You gotta like be able to like, oh, you seen them play, or you know the report on them, and you can do that assessment without even thinking about it, like these guys do, like Brian and Adam do. So that's why I lean on them so much for that football stuff. For the other stuff, I can do that in my sleep. Like, I can come here and I can entertain all day. So it ain't nothing. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm proud to say that. Oh boy. Y'all want me to be buffed and primed so bad. Oh, Harry B, you don't know nothing about football. Let me see him cry. Oh, I don't know about football. Oh, buffed and primed. Pause, nigga. Anyways, ain't nobody buffing and primed nothing.
I think Draylon is one of the best players in this team, and so I probably feel okay with him running the ball. I would feel better if one of those guys went there, but I would feel much better if we saw. I want 2 more guys signed. You know, I don't know if they're going to get 1 more. I hope they do, but I want to see a couple of guys that have been productive in college that are signed this summer. I don't know if they're on the radar or not, but I'm with you that 4 seems pretty thin.
Okay, so translation, we need running backs. Okay. All right, we need running backs. That's basically what the translation is. So in the running backs room, the running back room is a little thin, right? It seems like we got some guys that are going to be either moving back and forth from position, from wide receiver to running back, or we need running backs. That's what it means. Okay, so if Marshall can, I don't know, you working with the guys that we currently have in that room, if that would suffice, because again, the Big 12 is a running conference. It showed. The 2 Kansas teams beat us at the running game. All right. Devin Neal, and I forget the other guy. I'm sorry. Okay, my brain. I'm about 2 hours in now. Okay. But anyways, so yeah, if Colorado can have have a running back, like we had Shador, so you knew when you were playing Colorado, you had to go in there and prepare for their dynamic quarterback, for the greatest quarterback in college football. You had to prepare for that guy. Okay. But when it comes to the running backs room, like the Kansas teams, you knew that you had to face their running backs, right? And even when we played UCF, right, when we had to face that running quarterback. And when we played like Kansas, they had Avery Johnson. He was a running quarterback as well. So Colorado has to upgrade their running backs room, is what I'm reading from this. So that gives me homework, gives me video ideas, something I can do to maybe bring some information to the herd. All right, you heard?
Yeah, it's not against what obviously Draylon Miller and Cam Michael are as receivers, but
right. Mm-hmm.
You look at receiver.
See, you don't necessarily really need. I don't know that you want your quarterback to be your best runner, because the thing is, running quarterbacks don't last that long in the NFL. They don't last that long in college. You feel me? Well, in the NFL, running quarterbacks, they do better in college, I guess. But yeah, I mean, the second you get out of that pocket, you're putting your body at risk. All right. When you get outside that line, now people can hit you as hard as they want to hit you. The quarterback is not that protected as much as you think. So a running quarterback is always at risk of injury. And we only have one. So You want to definitely want to protect your running quarterback. So I don't want him to be the guy that's the runner. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good when you have a good running back and you have a good quarterback that can run. Oh my gosh, you're dangerous, because now that DC has to prepare for two runners, because every time he goes back for a pass, man, Cam Newton, Deshaun Watson, Milroe, those guys that you were always afraid. Jalen Daniels, you were afraid when those guys have the ball and they go back like this, and you got that one linebacker. Oh, you just be praying, God, please don't let him miss. Oh, don't let him do a Shiloh. Oh, Lord. Yo, that sounded so funny. Please, Lord, don't let him do a Shiloh and go for the prayer, the prayer tackle. If he missed, we in trouble. Oh, Lord. Yeah, man, when those guys got the ball, man, they're dangerous. That's when you can sit back and just enjoy your team. You can enjoy the poetry of football. Getting 10 yards, getting 10 yards on first down. Or when they can convert the third downs, or when they need 1 yard. 1 yard is nothing. Just give it to Cam Newton. Just give it to Jalen Hurts. Just give it to Deshaun Watson. Just give it to I personally think that Alabama did not know what they had, so they didn't use Milroe the right way. But I think he's the most athletic quarterback that came out of the draft, like hands down. Nobody comes close. All right, so he has a very big upside. So anyway, yeah. So I really don't want the quarterback to be the runner. You have two runners on that team, and they're both on the field at the same time. Whew. That's when football can be poetic, boy. I tell you. Whew.
Sincere Brown, Jack Castera, Terrell Timmons, Omarion Miller, Hakeem Williams, Joseph Williams, Isaiah Harge, not including those guys, and not including, well, I'll include them now, Quentin Gibson and Quinn Alex Farrakhan Jr., true freshman. You've got such a deep room there, and you don't at running back. I guess that's kind of what leads me to think that you're going to have to do something there.
So I created this indicator which gives me buy and sell signals for any chart. Take a look at this.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think those two kids are kids, but they're talented young men, and I think that they can do the job. It's more of just I think you should have more. I feel more comfortable with more scholarship backs on the roster, and especially when you lose Isaiah Gustive, and I guess he's without a team right now. I don't know where he's going to land, but the one guy you picked up, I know he's talented, but he's only got really 1 year of production under his belt in college into Kalen Taylor. So I would feel more comfortable if they actually picked up another solid running back or two. But I wouldn't mind seeing a Cam or Draylon at times at running back. I just don't want to see them as the featured backs.
I'm curious, you had a chance to talk to DeKalen Taylor, who's transferring from Incarnate Word. You mentioned him there. And they not only add a running back, but they add an explosive kickoff and punt returner as well. Kind of preview your story that you're going to have coming up with him. Is he a Dylan Edwards mold? What can CU fans expect from him?
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got from him, because when you look at his career, he didn't run the ball a whole lot.
That's why I love these beat writers. They go in there and they get the story. They learn who these players are, their intricacies, their nuances, their unsung parts of them, the parts that nobody knows. These beat writers, like they go to mamas and they eat cookies. I'm sure they like the cookies. That didn't come out right. Baked cookies. Let's just keep going.
24, he was the guy, but in the previous years, he didn't run the ball a whole lot. And he said that he was a slot receiver. And so that's why he wasn't really playing a whole lot at running back and running the ball. So it was after the 23 season, they talked to him about moving to running back, and so he did that. And so, we've seen Dylan Edwards obviously, can line up as a receiver. I think he's kind of like that. I think DeKalen Taylor can be like that, but obviously he's transitioned to running back. That my video with him, and then also the story will drop later this week. But it was interesting. He told me, when he was growing up, he didn't play football until he was like 8th grade or whatever, and didn't really like getting hit and and all the contact and everything. I said, well, you're in an interesting spot for someone that didn't like to get hit. He goes, well, I've learned to like it now. So he's grown to like it. But yeah, he's a guy that I think can be that change of pace guy and that Dylan Edwards type. I don't know if he's, again, that guy that is the 20 carries or 15 carries a game type of guy, but I like his potential. And obviously he can return punts and kicks as well.
All right. So I think that's good. I think that's good enough. So Colorado, once again, have a good receivers room. Colorado also needs a little bit of help in the running backs room. That's the one thing that we really lack. So we got to keep our eyes on that running back. So hopefully Taylor comes up and he's able to, transform that room. We just need a good runner because we do have Caden Salter as well. So you have a good, reliable runner, and you add Salter, who's also a weapon at the running, and he can get away real quick. Like when the Big 12 is wide open again. I feel like the Big 12 is like one of these fun conferences where we ain't beating each other up like that. Like, it's like, okay, there's room for me to work here. It's like where the NBA is about to go. NBA is going into a period now where there is no more super teams, where now we get regular people playing basketball again. Thank God. I was so sick and tired of the super teams, right? The Big 12 ain't got no super teams. The Big 12 is just a bunch of players. They don't have that much money. They got just enough money to be able to get some players, and then they just got to play football, right? You ain't got no super teams. Now, they had a super quarterback in Shedeur when the Shedeur was there. Are y'all feeling this poke, you haters? I've done it 3 times already. I'm about to pull up 4 figures. I've done it 3 times already, okay? I'm trying to get at y'all. Of course, like 2024, you had a super quarterback like Shedeur, who is a phenom. Like you had a phenomenal quarterback. You had such a phenom in Shedeur. And then you had Travis Hunter. So, that was different. I know they didn't win the conference. Don't come at me. I get it. But you can't win it all, okay? You can't win it all. But the Big 12 is wide open. So Colorado has a chance. Now, I will put a cautionary tale out there to let some people know who may not know the Big 12 as well as I'm learning it, right? Because I know a lot of y'all are this. And you're not really here for that. You're here for Prime and his sons. So I get it. I understand. The Big 12, there are players and there are teams that this year, there's a few teams that are going to play, I would say, at a Big 10 level. All right. This year is not going to be, I don't think you're going to see 4 equal teams. I think the power level at the Big 12 this year, you're going to see a defined 2 teams. All right. And then the rest are going to kind of be equal. But I think there are 2 teams that are going to define themselves. And in subsequent shows, I'm going to try to pull that out. I'm also going to do my list for, ranking the Big 12. I'm going to do like a personal list because now I feel like, okay, I think I got enough information where I can tell you who's who in the Big 12. So that's coming. But Colorado seemed to be in the mix of it. I like it. I think what I'm hearing and what I'm ascertaining and extrapolating, use some of those SAT words, right? What I'm getting is Colorado could be a 7 or 8 win team. And keep in mind, in 2024, I had 2023 and 2024, I had them at 8-4. We're teetering around 7 to 8 wins again. So the more information I get, and especially if they upgrade that running backs room, I might put them to 8. I haven't really made my prediction yet. I don't know yet because I haven't been paying enough attention to the football at Colorado. I've been focused on Shedeur content. I mean, rightfully so, because you got to eat. I ain't making content for you to watch it, 300 people to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? Do you really want to run a business, or do you want to be like, oh, those 300 fans, those are my important fans. I'm going to make sure those 300 people get the content they need. That's not how this works, okay? I need the thousands of people that are watching the viral video, the 100,000 that watched that last video or that other video. I want 100,000 views every time I drop something, even though I don't get that, but it's okay. So glad to see you back in action. Nah, I'm so good of all of this NFL stuff like prison games. I've got auntie fatigue. Yeah, auntie fatigue. and then it's no good when you got the daggone organization. They don't know how to handle things. If the organization was a real, like, they're real G's who really understood how to handle stardom, bro, they don't know how to. The Browns don't know how to handle anything. So, I mean, you just gotta deal with them. You know, I think the running backs room is fine. But Tosh Smith, we don't need fine, though. That's the thing. We not fine is not good enough. We need the running backs room to be good, not fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if they're fine, like, yeah, they're fine. But we need to be confident, like the Tito teams. Is it Toto or Tito? The Toto teams. I think Tito's for Michael Jackson and his family. Well, the Jackson family. Then Toto is from the Dorothy from Kansas. Bro, the two Kansas teams had good running backs. Colorado need a good running back, and they need to utilize them. So now it's like, if you think about it, like, in retrospect, it was really good that Dylan Edwards left. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm not wishing anything bad. I'm just saying, like, I feel like, you know, Todd Smith said, how many running backs you need? You need one really good running back, and you need a dynamic running back, right? I'll just say, just take the total teams, right? Not the Tito teams, but the total teams, the Kansas teams. They have one good running back, a decent running back as a backup, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then the quarterback can run. So that's like 2.5. So because of injury and whatnot, you need 2.5 running backs in the room. You need a dynamic running back, a good backup. The quarterback is mobile. That's usually, like, if you have that, you're really good. If you take like the Sun Devils, you have Scatterboo. I believe the quarterback, if he needed to run, he can run. Scatterboo's backup was a good runner as well. So yeah, I mean, that's what you really see all the time. You feel me? So you need to have a good 2 solid running backs and a half. Because if your number one goes down, you still have a good running back. If that person goes down, you still have the half. And the half can usually when those people get hurt, it's like late in the season. You feel me? Because running backs are really built to get hit. You know what I'm saying? Their training is a little different. Like, they're smacking them. You know, you want their running back to get hit as many times as possible because you need his brain to be like, all right, I know I'm about to get hit. And they're low, their center of gravity is low, so they stay low to the ground. So when you hit them, you can't hurt them that much because it's not like hitting a midget or a smart person, right? Like, you hit them, they're just going to fall to the ground. Like, running backs don't get hurt that often. So you have 2.5. That's my number. We got that now. Well, according to Brian Howell and Adam Mustard Tiger, you don't. Nah, I ain't gonna hold you, Tim. You my guy. I ain't gonna say I trust them more than I trust you, but thank God I just did. So I don't know that we have 2 solid running backs. I don't know. If we do, we do. But Augustav left for the bag, and he's back in the transfer portal. Maybe to bring him back. I feel like Augustav is who we had, and so I don't know. I don't know that according to Adam and Brian Howard, I don't know. If they feel like we need a decent running back, I don't see it at Colorado. I haven't heard the name that, okay, yo, we got an Augustav type running back. I don't know that we do. So Sayon says, I hope Coach Prime sues the NFL for collusion and lies. Coach Prime ain't gonna sue the NFL. Let's just put that out there. It's not gonna happen. So Stevie Davies says, I think we got one on the radar. I think that was Taylor. The person you're thinking about is Taylor. And Brian Howard's gonna drop a video on Taylor soon. If he does a write-up, I will show I'll cover the write-up. So yeah, they said there are potential running backs that we're targeting. So Taylor's one of them, and maybe we'll get him. Yeah. Yep, we definitely will see soon. So if Colorado can get a decent running back, and then with Kaden Salter, so then that means that the running game is going to be there, and Colorado doesn't have to be, just sell everything on the pass. And then we can play solid football. I'm telling you, Colorado would be right in the mix of everybody in the Big 12, because it's like the Big 12 is not a super conference where you got these superstars and you like. You know for sure. Like, if Alabama go play some of these Big Ten teams, like, you like, all right, listen, I know the Big Ten won and won the Natty and whatnot, but you just know when the super teams go out there and go play, like you can just write in the W. You know what I'm saying? Like, this, but when the Big Ten is playing, it's like that's where you want the football to be at. Because you want football to be exciting. You don't want to. The win is already predicted. Georgia's playing some lowly team. You're like, all right, we know they're gonna get the win, but just for the sake of me watching football on Saturday, I'll get some wings and get in my drawers and sit on my couch, and I'll get in my basement. I'll watch. But man, when the Big 12 is playing, you're like, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can, regardless of the prediction, you're like, all right, cool. You can sit back and watch some really good competition. That's what you want. That's what college football is about. It's about that hard-nosed, that gritty type of football. It's going back and forth. Both teams are formidable. They can play hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, the quarterback is making his throws. His reads are good as he's placing the ball where it's at. The other, when they're done, the other quarterback comes in and he matches that energy, and everybody's going crazy in the stadium. Like, when you hear that, you're like, yeah, like you're sitting, no matter where you are, you're not in the stadium, but you're in your living room. You got the silly hat on, you got the hand thing going, and you're going, and that's not even your team. You're like, I don't care. I just love college football. That's the feeling that the Big 12 gives you. And with that being said, I'm out of here. Hey, man, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I try to bring you good information here. I try to make it entertaining, and I try to make sure that you get legit information every time you come here. Please don't hurt nobody in the chat. Don't take it personal. It's football. Let's enjoy ourselves, especially when you're in a community like TLP Sports Club community. Guys, come here, enjoy yourself, get information, but don't take it personal. Don't make it personal. It ain't that personal. You don't know these people. These people don't know you. You know me, because I'm Harry B. Peace. I'm out.